everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
Hey y'all, let's play a game of put a finger down. Put a finger down if you met a man last year and he was just the best man in the world, or at least you thought he was. He was so intentional, he was so sweet, he was so thoughtful, he moved with purpose, he knew what he wanted, and he didn't play about you. You all dated for 9 months and he asked you to marry him in April. Put a finger down if he announced your engagement in front of his entire congregation on Easter. Put a finger down if 2-3 days go by and you find out that your fiance had been cheating on you for about a good length of your relationship. Not only had he been cheating on you, but he was cheating on you with a member of the church. He also had another relationship with another woman from the church, but it wasn't sexual. Didn't find this information out until after you all were engaged. You were livid, you were furious, you gave the ring back, you called off the engagement, you called off the wedding that you were planning, you canceled the dress that you ordered, all of this stuff. This man begged and pleaded and begged and pleaded and begged and pleaded and begged and pleaded for your forgiveness. After some time and work and like all of this stuff, and you making demands, and he met those demands, you thought to yourself, okay, like I asked him to do X, Y, and Z, he did them, he is serious. You decide that you want to work on this relationship and that you want to be in a relationship with him and all this other stuff. So you decide still to move to Minneapolis, uproot you and your son, leave your job behind, leave your family and your friends, and you come here to be this man's wife. You all get married and everything seems to be okay. You all have like little knickknacks, there's everything that you go through like as marriages do, but you all are still very intentional with wanting to be together. You get married in August, you go to Italy for your honeymoon in August, and you get pregnant the first day of your honeymoon. Surprise! I am 13 weeks pregnant. You all get into an altercation in October. You decide that you are going to go ahead and take some time apart, so you go home for a week. You go home, and that's when you actually found out that you were pregnant. You end up coming back to Minneapolis. You all are working everything out, trying to at least, and then surprise, he moved out. He got an apartment. Thanksgiving comes around and he's back at the house. He still has his apartment, but he's been home every single day playing house. We've been eating together as a family. He's been taking your son to school. He's been coming back home in the evenings. He's been sleeping here. Like everything's been fine. Then last Saturday, you all get into an argument over a napkin. You get into an argument over a napkin and he decides that he is going to leave, and you tell him, look, you're married. You can't keep leaving every single time you get upset. Married people don't have second residences. He decides to leave anyway, so you text him and you let him know that this is the last time that he will be able to walk out on you, your son, and your unborn child. You go to church that next day. Everything is fine. I mean, you are saving face, you're speaking to everyone, you're smiling. After church, you go up to your
especially when they're
and tell him how great of a job that he preached, and that you asked him if he wanted to go get some brunch afterwards, or like what his plans were, and he said that he had a headache and he was going to go lay down. So I said, okay. So my son, we go to brunch with a friend, and we come back and your husband is not here. Sunday evening, you try to get in contact with your husband and he still doesn't answer the phone. Monday comes around and you are sitting on the couch, folding clothes, doing laundry, and watching the P. Diddy documentary. The doorbell rings. You think that it is a package that your stepmom sent you all for Christmas. So you're not in a rush to answer the door because delivery people are going to sit it down. The doorbell rings again. So you get up because you are naked on the couch trying to fold laundry, because the only clothes that fit are the clothes that you are washing because you're pregnant. You find something, you throw it on, you go to the door. It is a woman there. She asks, are you Tyler? You say yes. She hands you a paper and says, you've been served. I open the paper and it's divorce papers. You're so distraught. You don't know what's going on, why he would serve divorce papers, what happened to the point that divorce papers would be served. There was no conversation being had. You are literally a mess. You all finally have a conversation a few days later, and you're like, you know what? I need you to be honest with me. Are you messing with anybody? And he tells you that he's been involved with a woman for the past month. Not any woman, but one of the 2 women that he was involved with in the beginning of your relationship.
1, 2, 3.
I'm putting all of my fingers down.
All right, everyday people. I was wondering when she was gonna put her finger down, but she eventually did. What it do, everyday people, man? It's your boy PJ. Today we back with another lit live video, and y'all ain't gonna believe what we got here. All right, but let's get into it. Shout out to this woman, Twiggy B, and apparently the pastor's name is Elijah McDavid. Elijah McDavid. Let's get to it. This got messy as hell real quick.
I am saddened and disheartened to have to make a video like this. I was going to allow it to pan itself out with the people that were involved, but the moment that my name came into it and screenshots are being posted with my name in it, I felt like I have to say something. I am not mistress. I am not someone that is maintaining an inappropriate relationship with your husband or anybody for that matter. I am not somebody who wants to intervene or get in the middle of your relationship. What you should know is that this person and I dated for approximately 3 years. We started dating in June of 2021, and I also loved and cared about him. I also experienced all of the lavish trips and Michelin star restaurants, and truly feeling like somebody loved and cared about me and truly felt like I could trust him. He and I maintained a relationship for about 3 years, and we lived together and everything. It was in the spring of 2024 that I found out some devastating news that my trust was broken and that I was humiliated. At that point, like you, I also tried to see if we could figure things out and maintain the relationship. That's not necessarily something that I would recommend to anybody today, but that is my truth. We decided ultimately in about May of 2024 that we were no longer going to attempt to work on our relationship and that we would cut things off. From that point, he and I did not maintain contact the same way that we had before. We really did take a lot of space from each other. And later on that year, he started to reach back out and ask if I wanted to go to dinner or brunch, etc., and would invite myself and my friends out. During these dinners and brunches, he would offer up that he is single, that he is by himself, that if he is going on these trips, he's going by himself, he's going on his sabbatical, and he's going by himself as a single man. To my surprise, he asked me to dinner in spring of 2025 of this year and let me know that he was planning to propose to someone. And I'll be honest and let you know that I absolutely crashed out in that moment because I felt like even though we weren't together, we had built a friendship over the last few months to where we could be honest with each other. I was frustrated because I felt like I didn't have a choice and that I didn't get an option of being able to walk away knowing that he was in a relationship with someone. I literally found out that you existed on that day. And when I checked in with other people, they let me know that they had been seeing your videos for a while and just thought that I knew. And that's why no one had told me. I talked to my mentor and he let me know that he was not about to propose, that he actually had already proposed to you before he said that to me. And I confronted him again and asked him why he had lied to me. I asked him what the reason was for not telling me that you were in a relationship this entire time. And he said to me that he didn't want to lose his best friend. I also that same day asked him if you knew about me and asked if he had talked to you about our past. And he told me he didn't think that that was necessary. I was really frustrated, and I expressed that to him that day, that I didn't think that it was fair for anybody to walk into a scenario as delicate as this one, considering the context, that anybody should walk into this not knowing what's going on, especially when there are plenty of other people in the congregation that know. From that point, I decided that I did not want to maintain even a platonic friendship relationship with him, and that my trust had been violated again at this point. And so I stopped communication with him, eventually blocked him on my phone, blocked him on social media, etc. It was October 25th of this year, which you know is his birthday, that I received a call that was not his personal number and not his social media, reaching out to me to let me know that he had been in what you would call an altercation that ultimately left him hit by a car. Again, I'll be honest and say that I thought in that moment, frustratedly, like, this is not my problem. I should not have to show up for somebody that has broken my trust on multiple occasions. But convicted, I felt like the right thing to do was to show up for somebody that you care about. And so, no, I wasn't showing up for him as a friend. I wasn't showing up for him as somebody that was looking for anything for him, not somebody that is looking to rekindle a relationship with him. I was showing up for him as somebody who had just gotten news that he was in the hospital and had been in a car accident. And I want to be clear, he and I have maintained a strictly platonic relationship since the spring of 2024. And so while I understand that there is extreme hurt, there is extreme frustration, there was extreme disrespect that has happened throughout this situation, while I understand that this is extremely humiliating and I would not wish this situation on anybody, I also will say that is not my character to maintain a relationship with someone that is in a relationship or someone that, especially someone that is married. And so I truly hope that in all of this, that you all get what is owed to you, what is due to you. I pray that this is all worked out. However, I should not be the target for this anger. I truly do believe that it is misdirected. And to all of my friends, turned family, my community that have reached out throughout the last day and a half of everything that has been going on, for people that know the truth and know my story and know my character, that have shown up for me and supported me. Thank you for showing up for me. I really do appreciate that. And I hope that this all gets worked out, but I am not anyone's mistress.
So many reasons to give God praise. So many doors he's opened, so many ways he's made. He didn't have to let us live, but I'm glad to be in the service one more time. Are you grateful for life, health, and strength today? I know I am, and we praise God for it. Listen, a few words of remarks before we move into our time of worship through giving. I want to say that I, like any other person with a biblical name, I can't help but to resonate with the story of the personality that I'm named for. I have a gravitational pull that keeps on drawing me back to the story of the prophet Elijah. And I'm drawn, Deacon Corey, not just to the high moments of success that he experiences, but I am drawn sometimes to the low moment that Elijah experienced in 1 Kings chapter 19. If you've been at Fellowship a little while, if you read your Bible, you know I've taught the story. Elijah just had an awesome victory in chapter 18, defeating 450 prophets of Baal. And then as you turn the page, you find Elijah running for his life, fearful, afraid, anxious about what's coming next. He even questions the value and the significance of his own future. I would say that similar to the biblical Elijah, many of us today are wrestling with some heavy emotions. For some in our church, well, we experienced a whole lot this week, and it's left our community wondering and questioning, what does the future look like? We accomplished a whole lot together as a church family in chapter 18. We had some beautifully victorious seasons that we ought to be proud of in chapter 18. But right now it's a chapter 19 moment. And a lot of people are hurting. And if I can be honest, your pastor is hurting. May not have experienced all the dark tears of depression that the biblical Elijah wrestled with, but I can be honest and say I've cried a whole lot these last 3 months. And there have been some moments where I asked God, why? And so, with your gracious understanding, I would like to take some time to do what the biblical Elijah did, to go away to the mountaintop for a few days and allow the Spirit of our merciful God to replenish me, to recalibrate me, and restore me. I want to be better before we resume the work of prophetic ministry. I believe that on the other side of a refueling moment, we can have more chapter 18 victories ahead of us. And for those who might be uncertain about if there's victory ahead of us, I am confident in this, that even when the preacher, even when the members, even when a leader is going through it, even when we are broken and hurting, God knows how to touch us and minister to us and whisper to us in the stillness of the night, just as he did for the biblical Elijah, he can do for any of us. I'm confident in that. And so, beloved, as I prepare for a short time away, allow me to encourage you to never allow anything to interrupt the life of our church's worship. Don't allow anything to interrupt the life of our church's worship. I heard a whole lot on the internet this week, but I'm not going to allow that to interrupt my prayer life. And I would advise you that you shouldn't allow it to interrupt yours either. We've had some moments of victory right now, walking through a valley of defeat. But I've taught you before, fellowship, that whether in victory or in defeat, our task remains the same. We shall lift our eyes beyond the hills because we know where our help comes from. And we're confident in that sacred and holy help. As I prepare to take this brief leave of absence, I do also today want to offer a wholehearted apology to this church family. You all have had to hear some hard things this week. And while what you've heard is misleading, I recognize that what you've heard still causes pain. It tarnishes our reputation as a church. It makes some question the spiritual well-being of our institution. Perhaps worst of all, it evokes memories of church hurt and trauma that all too many of us have had to live through time and time again. And so, from the bottom of my heart, I'm deeply sorry that because none of you should have had to experience hurt like this on the week of Christmas. I hate that a private matter became public. However, I will stand here today and boldly stand by my decision to dissolve my marriage so that I can be physically safe and mentally whole. Through all the noise, I want you to know I'm grateful to be alive. And so I ask that you would pray for our church, pray for my family, pray for everybody who's been involved and touched by this situation. And know that I love my fellowship family and that stepping away even for a brief moment is hard, but I'm confident that the same Holy Spirit that has sustained us through 5 years of victory seasons will continue to be with us even in my absence. And while I might be absent physically, know that I will still be connected with you all spiritually because we're going into our church fast. And I hope you all will help me and join me in praising God for the opportunity that we have to fast together. We announced this fast a little while ago. We didn't know the type of spiritual warfare we were getting ready to walk into, but I believe it's providential that God has called us to a time of fasting and prayer so that we might put on the whole armor of God and be prepared for this moment. And so if you haven't made a commitment, I want to encourage you to do that.
Why he trying to make his problems the whole church problem? Nigga, this is your problem. You need to handle your shit, big dog.
Using the QR code that's on the screen, we have options for you all to choose from of how you would participate in this time of fasting. You can choose just one, or you can choose all four. Some of us will be doing the Daniel fast. Some will be fasting from sunrise to sunset. Some will be eliminating non-essential spending. Some of us will be getting off of social media because it's a shame what's going on out there. But through it all, whatever choice you choose, whatever combination you choose, know I believe this, that we are going to hear from heaven in a fresh way as we fast forward together. So I want to encourage you to participate in that. We'll share more next week about the Bible reading plan and about the prayer call that I want to thank our ministerial team for preparing. But we'll about the Bible reading plan and about the prayer call that I want to thank our ministerial team for preparing. But we're grateful for the time of fasting. And as we fast together, I believe in the blessed promise that God will heal, strengthen, and restore our church. God will heal, strengthen, and restore Pastor Elijah just as God did for the biblical one. And for that we say, to God be the glory. Would you help me praise God for our fast that's coming? As we thank God for the opportunity that we have to worship. So thank God for our fast. As I just mentioned, it's been a hard week, but here the reality is God is good even in hard and difficult times. And I hope many of you all have been like me. You ever just been through a valley when it's a dark place, but God sends some angels to come and minister to you and speak to you? I want to thank you so much. So many folks called, texted, reached out. They dragged me out of bed to make sure I would get up and eat. I want to thank you for your ministry to me. Especially grateful for pastors and clergy from across this country who called to reach out to pray for Fellowship Minneapolis. And I'm so grateful today that while so many pastors called to pray for us, there was one pastor in particular who made the amazing sacrifice to move his schedule, get on a plane from Los Angeles yesterday, and fly here to be able to bless us with the Word of God. And so I ask that you would, when he comes downstairs in just a moment, to lift up, pray for, and to celebrate the amazing gift that is the Reverend Dr. Sean Henderson McMillan, who's come all the way from Los Angeles, California, to bless us today. Dr. McMillan joined us here about 3 years ago. We were celebrating my 30th birthday. Governor Walz came, Dr. McMillan came, and we had a beautiful time just celebrating together. And so I'm grateful that he's been willing to rearrange all of his obligations to come here to pray with us and to preach to us. And so know you all are in for a great treat today. I didn't have it in me to try to prepare a sermon, but I'm so grateful for a mentor who's willing to stand in the gap. This is the man who taught me the sacred art of preaching. When I was in undergrad and graduate school, our paths intersected, and he made sure to balance what I was learning at Columbia University with some real and relevant teaching that could help me minister to communities that aren't represented at Columbia University. Y'all feel what I'm saying? Every now and then, for those who've had some professors of a different hue, you need some other professors who will help to strengthen you and make sure you still stay grounded and relevant in your context. And so I'm grateful for the tutelage, the teaching, and the inspiration of Dr. Sean. But more importantly, I'm just grateful for his friendship and his brotherhood and his willingness to make the sacrifice to be here with us today. And so after our music ministry will lead us in our sermonic selection, I would just ask that you stand, celebrate, reverence, and welcome him warmly as he comes back to Fellowship Minneapolis. Listen, that's all the talking that I want to do today. I just simply want to know, are there any cheerful givers in the house on the last Sunday of the year? I pray I'm not the only one who's motivated and excited to give back to God. What a gift it is that we have this joyful opportunity to say, God, I'm not just going to reflect on every great thing you've done this year, but I'm going to make a commitment in worship to give back to you that shows, God, how grateful I am. And so our ushers are in the aisle now. If you have cash or check, I invite you to simply wave a hand. They would be glad to make their way to you with an offering envelope. You can deposit cash or check in that envelope. And then if you would find any of the black containers.
God damn, get that money, Pastor. Get that money.
Hey y'all, happy couple of days after Christmas. I hope everyone had a joyous Christmas celebration with family. So I am here to just address a few things. My last video was posted about a week ago. I got 1,000,001 comments, some good, some bad, so I'm here to address them. Let's start with the first one. Everyone was asking, why did this make it to social media? For those of you that are new to my page and clearly don't know any of my content, I documented my entire relationship with my husband from our very first date to the time that we eloped in Italy and further on from there. I documented the good times, and so it wouldn't be right or be hypocritical if I did not document and share this information. One of the other questions was, why did I not go to the higher ups? I did. I went to the chair of the deacon board and the chair of the trustee board in early November and talked to them about everything. They even have more details than you all have. So I went to them. Nothing was done. The reason why the video was made to begin with, because my name was being slandered around the church and around his staff. He has not been truthful. He has fabricated a situation that happened, and I was tired of the blame and the misinformation being targeted towards me, and me ultimately being the bad guy. I made this video because there were a lot of people involved. There are a lot of people that have been involved with him and that have been silenced, and I am one that will not and cannot be silenced. So I am the only one that spoke up and spoke out. One of the other questions was, what could he possibly have done that you demanded that would make you take him back? Well, he had an inappropriate relationship with a member of his church while he was dating me. That person is the daughter of his former secretary. She reached out to me a few days after he announced our engagement on Easter on the phone, and she told me everything. The demand that I made was, I asked him to let go of his secretary. I felt like she was too close. She knew that Elijah was dating me. She also knew that he was dealing with her daughter. She was booking my flights to and from Minneapolis and Indianapolis, booking dinner reservations, booking everything. She was just too close. I did not want her around. I did not want to be around her. I didn't want to eventually have to email her or call her or do anything in regards to church-related stuff. So I asked him to let her go. That was one of the demands. He did that. I thought because he let go of his secretary, that he was serious about our relationship, and it made me feel a little bit more comfortable moving forward in our relationship. I would have sent the baby to Jesus or Jesus Academy, Jesus Daycare. Trust and believe. That was a thought of mine. And every time that I talked about terminating, I literally got sick to my stomach. Ironically, Monday of this week, I received a phone call from the doctor letting me know that I am having a little girl. Most people would be excited to know the sex of their baby, especially to know that they're having a daughter when they already have a son. But it's just something that I'm not excited.
Yo, I just got that. She was sending the baby to Jesus Daycare. Yo, I'm slow. I was thinking, hey, just because I'm thinking, you know, children's church or something, not the upper room.
About right now, I've been told to try to find the joy in this moment, and I can't find it. My prayer is that as time go on, that I will be able to connect to my daughter. I pray that I don't have any resentment towards her. My prayer is that I can love her the way that I love my son, despite everything that is going on between me and her father. So for those that are sticking and riding with me, I would ask that you would just pray for peace of mind for me. I would like for all of you guys to back off of Kari. She and I did have a conversation the day after Christmas. We had a long 4-hour phone conversation. I do not agree with everything that has happened, but I do understand how she fell into the manipulation of you all's pastor. He is a very smart, well-spoken man, and he knows how to use that to his advantage. For everyone that is attacking me in my comments because you are sticking and writing beside your pastor, I don't blame you at all. You all have known him for 5 years. You have grown to love him for those 5 years. He and I have only been together for a year and a half. And even in that year and a half, with everything that I know about him, everything that I know about his past, and everything that I know that he continues to do, I still love him. And so there is so much that you all do not know. And I am not upset because he is not a truth teller. I hope that one day he will tell the truth. I truly believe that everything that's done in the dark comes to light, because everything that this man has done to me in the dark, I did not go looking for it. It literally fell on my lap. Church sent out an email earlier this week about the claims against their pastor and how they are supporting the family. You all are not supporting the family. If you were, you would have reached out to check on Hayes. At the end of the day, there is an innocent child that has moved to Minnesota and now has moved from Minnesota, had started a whole brand new life with friends at school, friends at church. We built a community here, and I had to have a really hard conversation with him and let him know that this will no longer be his home. Would have hoped that you all would have actually checked in on the family. For those that have checked in on us, I really appreciate you. For those that have come to the house to pick him up, to distract him so I could pack up, or just so I could get things done, I really do appreciate you. I appreciate everyone who has called. I appreciate everyone who has stopped by. I appreciate everyone who has prayed for and with me. Know that your kindness, I'm not taking it lightly at all. I really appreciate you. That's really all that I have to say. I appreciate everyone that has reached out to me. I hope that somebody can learn something from this. I don't believe that anyone should be silenced. There were tons of people that told me to take the video down or let God handle this. No. God can continue to handle it the way that he sees fit. But this is what I'm doing. I'm just going to sit back. Got a divorce to go through now. And I got to continue to bake this little girl that's inside of me, because I haven't been taking care of her. And I haven't been taking care of her mom. And so my prayer is that I can heal. Everyone involved can heal. I hope that this doesn't happen to anybody else. And I just want to get back to the Tyler, the daughter, the mom, the friend that I was, or that I am.
Hey, she be alright. She be alright. Somebody gonna pick her up. You a first round draft pick, baby. Fact of the matter is, your pastor was a cheater. Okay. I was listening to this sermon and it just made my skin crawl. That as a pastor, whatever, you're human. I'm human. That's what they say. I'm human, and I go through things. Yep, you ain't that human. When you chosen, you not that human. You're supposed to be a different human. You know, when you a pastor, you supposed to be a different human. You an X-Man, okay? So the so-called mistress, she's not a mistress because she was actually dating this man for before this woman even met this man. This woman married this man in 2020 or 2023, like 2024. So she already been promiscuous because she got an older son. But the pastor had left the other girl, married her, and then went back and was sleeping with the other girl. Am I correct? I don't know. But sounds like I am. I think I'm correct on that. The side chick, she's not even a side chick. I don't know what to call her because she was the main chick, but then when he got married, she became the side chick. Listen, pastors are messed up. I would tell y'all a story about. I've already talked about this a couple times. How somebody at the church got SA'd and it was a male. But, can't tell every story over and over again. What y'all think about this? Technically, the side got married and the main. Yeah. All right, Kenza says the side chick got married and the main chick turned into a side chick. That's correct. That is correct. That's correct. Because she was with him first. And then, that's why I be telling, man, don't trust these ninjas though. Don't trust these ninjas though. Because how you gonna marry the side chick when you got a main woman? That's crazy. I would never marry a side chick. Actually, no, I wouldn't marry a side chick. I got engaged to a side chick before though. I ain't gonna lie. I got engaged to my side chick. Hey, you know what's crazy? I proposed to her at a bar. We was drunk, and then we was going to get married. Yo, I think I was just doing that because I was turned up. I was turned up that my side chick had a big booty. And I was just like, oh shit, she mine. Okay. You gonna be mine forever? Ooh, the Lord saves. He should have to step down even if it's temporary. Yes, he is stepping down. And when we watch his sermon, he said he's taking a step back and he's stepping down, which is good. It's okay.